Welcome to another Crypto Rocket video where today we will be discussing New Order of Finance, a brand new Titano fork. It's very exciting. It's slightly different to the other ones, and I just want to tell you guys a little bit about it and how it works. First things first, this is not financial advice and I am not a financial advisor. This is simply for educational and entertainment purposes. Now, before we get into how this specific project works and the tokenomics and so on, first thing I want to show you guys the chart of this project. It literally just launched 2 days ago on the 22nd of March, and it's at launch it went up massively in price, from literally 20 cents up to $45, at a huge rise in price. And then what I found really impressive though is that in most projects you have this huge spike which then drops back down quite dramatically, whereas here it really maintained quite a high value, and we didn't see this giant drop. As a matter of fact, up until a couple hours ago it has been consistently sort of going up, which is quite rare, but it shows that people are really interested in the project. People weren't selling off right away, but they were actually holding the project. It's probably due to the really high APY, and also that there's more people buying in. The reason why I'm making the video right now is that a couple of hours ago, we were at the peak and, it probably wasn't a good time to buy. But actually now that the price has dropped nearly 50% in the last couple of hours, we can probably expect, might drop a little bit more. But there's also a very good possibility that it is going to start going back up over here. So it is a pretty good time, I think, personally, to buy. And I might go into this project now that I've seen this big 50% drop. I think it's going to be a pretty good time. And so I'm going to get in on this project now, which is why I'm also telling you guys about it now. Now, looking back into the website itself, the one, quite unique thing about this is there is 1,000,000% APY, fixed APY, which is obviously a really high amount. Titano had a, roughly 100,000% APY, Libero Finance 158,000. Here it's 1,000,000% APY, which is significantly more. And that's probably the reason why people aren't selling off as much as with the other ones, because they want to continue getting this, high APY. So let's take a look at it over here. The mission: a fully stealth-launched project hosted on the Binance Smart Chain. We symbolize a reversal of finance, the bottom of the pyramid, the people at the top. We offer the most competitive and stable rewards for our holders and a revolutionary auto-stake and auto-compound protocol that helps enable DeFi to everyone. No gimmicks, no easy schemes, crypto by the people, for the people. So they already had this 100% stealth launched. No team tokens, low starting liquidity, and market cap. Tokenomics, you can take a look at it over here. Buy fees 15%. So as you know, it's quite common for these projects to have a 10 or 15% buying fee. So every time you buy, it's 15% that gets put back into the project, from which is 4% to the liquidity pool, 4% insurance fund, 5% treasury, and 2% goes in the incinerator, which is basically when they burn the tokens to reduce the circulating supply, which should in return bring up the price of the token. And there's also 25% sell fee. This is quite high, so as in normally it's 20%. And I think this is probably also one of the main reasons why it didn't significantly drop as much as other projects after launch, or the price didn't drop as much after the launch, because it's quite a high sell fee, so people do want to keep that token. They don't want to. It really does discourage swing trading over here when you have such high buy and sell fees. So you can take a look at over here with a calculator, how much you would earn with $100. There's also the team, so you can find out a little bit about who's doing what. You can talk to see the kind of developers, financial, marketing team, design. So they do have a team over here. And there's a roadmap which talks a little bit more about the ecosystem for the rest of the year and beyond, which is quite interesting. Say, once we establish our beta and initial user base, we will look to focus on building partnerships and start to flex our ability to develop our brand within the DeFi space. Finally, once our product, brand, and community is thriving and our mission is in motion, we will look to scale and solidify our platform as one of the top protocols in the marketplace. So here they had the launch, they had the microcap stealth launch. They still haven't locked liquidity and verified the contracts. Yeah, so they haven't started the, they haven't had a rug doc yet either, which is probably might be a slight concern over here, to take a look into that to see, once they do the contract audit, and then they'll move on to exposure and growth. So you can take a look at all of these over here. But essentially, for me, the project looks quite strong in the way that it launched. There is this 1,000,000% APY, which is quite attractive, especially if it's a fixed one. Perhaps, that will keep it going, that would bring more and more investors. Although with such a high APY, I can't see how it will be sustainable for an entire year. So perhaps it's not going to be the best project to just hold for a whole year, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Anyways, I think I'm probably going to go in on this project now that there was this drop. So that's why I wanted to show it to you guys over here in case you were interested as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash that like and subscribe button if you want to hear about more of these high risk and high reward projects.